Breaking news coming out of executive actions in orders, announcements for more stimulus. This is your breaking news stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now I've got video footage and new articles just coming out today to get you caught up on the latest. We had heard that this was coming. I've let you know that the White House, the administration has said that more provisions would be coming either through legislation or executive orders. And if they do executive orders, there would be a series of them coming out, the first of which would be to forgive student loan debt. Now I'm going to share with you that this is exactly what they're saying they have it scheduled for this weekend. And then after that, we're hearing about checks, unemployment, child tax credits, and a assortment of other things of bills hitting the table right now under consideration in Congress. I'm gonna get you caught up of all of this. Take a look at these headlines. Biden administration may cancel $10,000 in student loan debt to boost the economy and to help those sacking poll numbers. And yes, I know a lot of people say the motivation should be to help American people, and they do want to do that, but also it doesn't hurt the fact that it is a midterm election year and those in power want to stay in power, and they like to try to incentivize voters to keep them in power. So that is one of the main reasons we're hearing why it is very likely we're going to be seeing executive orders and actions for provisions, seeing legislation proposed. We heard about stimulus checks and all of these things. I'm going to get you caught up, but take a look at the latest. White House plan would forgive $10,000 in student loan debt per borrower, and Biden wanted to announce canceling $10,000 in student loan debt as soon as this weekend, and it will be the first of many to come. Now we're hearing it is going to be delayed. I'm gonna give you all the details in the video footage. We're going to be watching it in just a second, but also checks. They have hit the table as well. Look at this House of Representatives. Republicans pushing for $1,000 stimulus to all Americans on the federal level. Also in the Senate, they propose $600 for federal level check to low-income individuals. So a lot of proposals starting to come back. And we had heard that this was all going to happen. Legislation, executive orders, bills, proposals for more stimulus. Now, in addition to that, we're also hearing about unemployment benefits and that lawsuit coming back for those states that ended those benefits early. And if you missed the details, check it out in my last video. As in Ohio, they're saying there is a possibility that those that got cut off the benefits could be receiving $3,000, 10 weeks worth of missed weekly $300 benefits. And also right now, as I mentioned, they are talking about what's going to be happening with stimulus provisions through the revised Build Back Better reconciliation bill. Take a look at you guys. Check out my other video if you missed it from earlier today. As Senator Joe mentioned, he's in negotiations with Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. And also here on the channel are keeping you up to date not only on federal provisions, but states, cities, and counties are every day now passing their own checks to send out to their residents. But in some cases you have to apply, and we're hearing about 90% of those eligible are missing out because they don't know it's available to them. And that's why here on the channel I'm releasing videos like this. $1,000 per month approved of new checks, letting you know the different cities and states and counties that are doing this, so you can know about that money and you can make sure that you can get that what's available for you. Let's go ahead and dive right in, and let's start off with the video footage of what's unfolding. Right now with the first step menu, we're hearing stuff marvelous provisions to come from the White House. The Biden administration is planning to cancel $10,000 in student loan debt per borrower, that is, according to sources who spoke with the Washington Post. Two sources that said that the latest plans will limit the debt forgiveness to those who earn less than $150,000 individually or $300,000 for married couple filing jointly. The Post says that President Biden has hoped to announce this news this weekend, but those plans changed after this week's school shooting in Texas. We've got somebody with us who maybe can talk a little bit about this right now. Let's bring in Joe Mobile. We're going to talk to him about what's been happening with retail investors, how this is different or the same from what we saw back in the year 2000. I think one of the things maybe they want to have considered is instead of doing $10,000 worth of doing X amount percent across the board, so people that have greater debt, could get a little bit more bigger break rather than somebody that's got less debt. I think it's a good idea. I think it can only be positive. I think we did this one not enough. We're going to set a precedent. I don't know if we're going to be doing this forever, but I think you make a good point. We as taxpayers, in effect, they're picking up the bill. But I do think I feel pretty strongly that be able to borrow money to be able to go to college is a good thing to be able to do. You're going to leverage, that's good reason to do that. And almost everything we do as far as politics go, we talk about people that don't have as much are going to benefit people that do. Well, I think the other side of that though is the people. We talk about whether or not we're really in a recession. Everybody knows we have inflation, but the reality is I think middle-income families in our country already have a recession. This is very, very painful for most families in our country. So to be able to give the typical middle-class family a bit of break with regards to the prices of gas, where they are in good, where they are transportation, where they are, I think that's good in this year, in this time period. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But it looks like this is going to be happening. The president is going to be making executive orders and actions to cancel our student loan debt. We had heard that this was coming, in that a series of other executive orders and actions might be coming as well. And now we're also hearing that they're working on stimulus bills, proposals to pass even more, and we'll see if those don't get through, if there's going to be even more executive orders and actions, as we heard of the ton of provisions that are coming, and this is all going to happen. We're heading right before these elections. This is the first of many to come, and as they come out, I'll be sure to keep you up to date here on the channel. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for joining me.